Who is George Santos? The man, the myth, the resume embellisher.
Welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk with yours truly, Big Chief and Stero. This week, got a good one for you guys, man. For real.
Yes.
We're gonna get into the shenanigans of one George Santos. Mm-hmm. And if you guys have been paying attention to the news media, you know it's a whole cauldron of mess that this guy is, just putting out there and been involved with. And we're going to discuss some of these things today, So, what's up, Chief?
What's going on, man?
Just paying attention to the shenanigans of this guy, man. Yeah. I mean, upon doing my research and finding out a bit more about him, it seems like his whole, history has been embellished, and you don't know what to believe. It's stranger than fiction, to be fair, because he's made up so many different things, and when questioned about different aspects and details of his past, it's just lie after lie after lie. And these lies are being brought to the surface. Mm-hmm. So it's like, bruh, I mean, how are you worth $11 million and have to fabricate all of this information about yourself? Just keep it a buck. Just keep it real. Then you'll be good. Nevertheless, we're going to get into it today. You know what I mean?
So, so Mr. George Santos, who is he? Well, that's hard to know because his whole life story is just a big embellishment. So he is the congressional member for the 3rd Congressional District, which incorporates a part of Long Island and into Queens. So he had the prior general election, he had lost, and he came back 2 years later, which was in November, and he won that seat. Now, he was endorsed by the New York State and Nassau County, Republican Party, based on the information that he had submitted in terms of his finances, his education, his history, and experiences, and so forth. But after, reporters that dug into his history, they found out that a lot of what he indicated on his resume was false. They found out that he was also under investigation for a stolen checkbook in Brazil, and the Brazilian authority was looking for him, and now, he's in America, so now they're basically saying that they will be pursuing the charges against him because they now know where he's at, right there, sitting in the U.S. Congress. And based on what he had disseminated on his resume, he worked for, not going to call it investment firm name, but he worked for investment firm. When they dug up and found out he did not work for the investment firm, his education, he did not go to the so-called school that he said that he went to. He didn't have no degree. His personal wealth is like how much million?
11 million.
11 million. Prior it was like 100-something thousand, right? He also indicated that he has investment in a company with like 20 employees, which was false, right? He also indicated that his mother was injured
in the 9/11
attack.
I mean,
and she died from cancer due to the 9/11 exposure. Come to find out, they found out that his mother was actually in Brazil during the 9/11.
He also said that his grandparents had survived the Holocaust.
Yeah, and he's Jewish. And then he basically, he switched around and said, oh, I didn't say I was Jewish, I said I was Jewish.
I I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah,
bro,
this guy is
pathologically mendacious, to be putting it politely. You know,
yes.
I mean, the mere fact we're here talking about this, and this is even a topic of discussion, it's like, that's why kids always tell the truth.
And this actually is a footage of him in Brazil, and he was at a town hall meeting, and he was asked a question. He was using different aliases, and there's also footage of him in cross-dressing, right?
Man,
In,
he came out and said that, according to that, he was at a party one time and was having a great time. I mean, he didn't deny that it was him. So,
Actually, he did deny it first.
Oh, he did deny it first?
And then he basically said, yeah, he was young.
Okay.
I guess it's a youthful exuberance. I don't know.
I mean, it's like, personally, I think there's something mentally wrong with him. Because to just keep on, fabricating various details of to tell one or two lies, okay, you can get a pass for that. Yeah. Not saying that it's, better than telling 20 lies. A lie is a lie. But to just keep the snowball rolling, and it builds and builds and builds to whereas here we are now, and this guy is like the center of attention as far as the news media and investigating his history. I find it interesting that, most of the Republicans that were asked about this situation, they weren't really, how am I going to say this? They weren't really denying it, but they weren't really saying, well, holding him accountable, basically,
And the thing here is that this Mr. Santos, almost everyone embellished their resume, right? You might put a little, things there to beef it up a little bit, right? To make it look a little bit more presentable and make you more important than what you are, right? But when this guy wholesalely just put a whole bunch of stuff on there that could be easily verifiable if you do a little digging and research. And the thing here is that how was the reporter able to do this and the Republican Party wasn't able to do that beforehand? So in other words, they would just accept anyone in their fold without doing any research on their history. So it becomes an issue where who's in charge here, right? Who's in charge in terms of the ethics within the party?
Good question.
You get what I'm saying? And is this a case of this has happened prior in the past, but no one has taken a look at other candidates or other members of Congress within the Republican Party that maybe had passed? I don't know.
I mean, who's to know? This definitely will have them, I'm sure, scrutinizing individuals up and coming in the future, because this is kind of an embarrassment, black eye for the Republican Party,
But they don't see that otherwise, They're still standing by him. The Speaker of the House is saying that, hey, the people voted him in, and well, if you have a problem about it, then vote him out when the next election come about, which is 2 years from now. And they have the audacity to appoint him to the committees. Small business committee.
That was surprising. I mean, it's like at the end of the day, you can be basically a nobody, a nowherean, and ascend to great heights of the Republican Party.
And that's a very powerful committee, the Small Business Committee. And we all know that if it's not for small business in America, America wouldn't be what it is.
It's definitely interesting to really analyze and critique this whole thing, and who knows what else will come up as far as what he's embellished or told tall tales about. It just remains to be seen. But in the interim, it's just crazy. Like I said, I think there's something wrong with him, like mentally, because usually people that lie and lie and lie and lie like that, there's some history of like mental health.
Yeah.
You know, something not too right. They're missing a few marbles upstairs, even though on the outside, you know, they look perfectly fine. The way their mind works, it's not too, you know.
In terms of Santos, right? In California, you have recall election in certain. I'm not sure if it's only in certain. Whether it's I know with the governor, you're able to recall, and as well as certain mayoral positions, you're able to recall in certain locations. What they're saying now in Long Island is that they should have, New York State should have a recall legislation that is put in place, in which if situations such as this come about, the people within the district, they are able to recall that congressional member.
But doesn't that make sense?
Which it does.
It's like a system of checks and balances. Okay, we got you in. Now we found this out. We can get you out.
Because the people that the person that the people of Long Island and Queens voted for in the 3rd Congressional District is not the person who they put in place.
Facts.
Right? They put a resume that was embellished in place. Right? And the thing here is that George Santos is not the person who they wanted. Right? The person who they wanted based on his resumes, it's all a farce, right? And I think that they should have the opportunity to recall him and vote someone in that
is qualified.
That's qualified.
That meets the qualifications.
And verifiable, or verify that, yeah, this person is who they say they are.
I mean, George, if you're watching this, you know, feel free to reach out to Chief or myself. We got a couple of questions for you. And there's no pressure. You know, I mean, everyone has a platform to voice their own defense, so to speak, in terms of, you know, their guilt or innocence. But right now, looks kind of sticky on you, bro. Looks
sticky on him. In addition to the Republican Party, it appears that they're a party. Let me just declare my hand. I'm a moderate. I believe in certain conservative policy, and I believe in certain democratic policy, liberal policy, right? And I am of the view that the Republican Party will accept every and anybody, right? Even if a person was caught with a loaded gun that's smoking over a dead body, I think that the Republican Party will stick by their man, if their man is guilty. Right, or perceived to be guilty, and I think
hold on. In America, it's innocent until proven guilty.
I think that the Republican Party, in general, they need a whole revolution within that party, and I say revolution is political revolution in terms of cleaning up their act, because it appears, from what I have seen over the period of years, that some of their members is accused of, issues with pornography, issues with extramarital affair, homosexuality, and they're the first one to basically try to strike down, homosexuality. In addition to abortion, they have girlfriends that had abortions and.
I mean, basically, their position on various acts of malfeasance that they speak out against is not reflective of the behavior of certain individuals within the party.
So
it kind of is a conflict of interest, a big-time conflict of interest. And it's very hypocritical, to be fair. But, it's politics as usual.
Yeah. The left wing and the right wing belongs to the same vulture. That's the way I see it,
That's a fact. That is a premium fact,
Because the thing here is that, while we're here debating about the Democratic and Republican Party and what have you, they are having dinners together, and some of them are, sharing trips together with their family, on both sides.
Golfing it up together.
Big business deals,
putting money and lining one another's pockets.
Yeah. They're all cronies and all cohorts, so they're gonna look out for each other.
Cronyism is the order of the day.
Yeah.
But stay tuned. We'll definitely keep you informed.
And we're gonna give updates on this, man, because this is like really
most definitely.
This is like we've never seen anything like this before.
And who's to know what we'll see in the weeks up and coming. But nevertheless, stay tuned. Like, subscribe,
and share.
Definitely. And until next time, Big Chief, Stero, we're out.
Peace.
Peace.
Socialmobie.com